Live from Red Zone Weather, this is a severe weather alert.
A tornado warning is in effect for parts of northern Baldwin County, the far western part of Escambia County in Alabama, and also the far southern part of Monroe County. Good Christmas Eve morning. Very early on this Christmas Eve, it's 2:35 in the morning, and we have a tornado warning. This is the first one of this severe weather event, and this is a call to action, meaning you've got to do something about it right now. This is a tornado warning that has just been issued in the last few moments, and the possible tornado right now is in the northern part of Baldwin County, right in through here, moving just like that. On that trajectory, it's going to be very near communities like Boonville over the next 10 minutes or so. We want to go ahead and get out our emergency alert here in the Red Zone Weather app, and I'll put the radar in motion for you so that you can get a better vantage point of what's going on here. In fact, we'll flip over to the velocity, and your possible tornado right now is in northern Baldwin County. This is north of Bay Minette. If you're in Bay Minette, this has nothing to do with you at this point, but in communities like Boonville, you've also got communities like Redtown, Lottie, also areas near Raven involved in this active tornado warning due to a possible tornado right in through here, a very rural part of northern Baldwin County. This possible tornado is moving just like that off to the northeast, and the Weather Service indicates that this possible tornado is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. We will put this in motion for you so that you can see why this warning was triggered. And again, coming on our live stream this morning to talk about a new tornado warning that has just been issued for parts of northern Baldwin County. This is the first tornado warning that we have had for this specific event, and it probably will not be the last warning. We now have an active tornado watch that we'll talk more about in just a moment, but no doubt about it, you can see this signature has really ramped up over the last few frames, and it's moving to the northeast. So let's look at Baldwin County as a whole, because Baldwin County is the largest county by area in the state of Alabama. There's the latest radar view. And again, Baldwin County is here, but the possible tornado is in the northern part of the county, in a very rural part of the county up here north of I-65. This is mainly in an area that's involved in a lot of hunting club lands out here north of I-65. But again, if you are in Lottie or areas near Redtown or Boonville, which is very near the county line there, between Escambia County, Alabama, and Baldwin County, we need you to be in your tornado safe place right now as we have a possible tornado moving in from the southwest. The main line of storms this morning is now working into West Alabama. We'll put the radar in motion. This is your main line of storms back here. And this is going to be a situation where we have these cells that pop up potentially out ahead of the main line that could become tornadic, which is exactly what we're seeing now in the northern part of Baldwin County. By the way, you see these counties now shaded in yellow. This is because we now have an active tornado watch for the entire local area. So again, we've come on Facebook Live and in the Red Zone Weather app to talk about this tornado warning. But for all of our local counties here, you are now involved in an active tornado watch, which means, I should say, more tornado warnings will be possible in the hours ahead. But again, let's focus on our warning in through here, and let's show you exactly who is involved. If you're in Atmore, this is not for you. This polygon is to your northwest. Same thing at Porch. It looks like the core of this tornadic circulation will pass Porch off to the west. If you're in Tensas, even though you're close, you're technically not involved in this tornado warning. This is Alabama Highway 59 right here. And as a course of least regret, I should say, if you are near Alabama Highway 59, I would go ahead and get to my tornado safe place just because this thing is going to be so close to you. Possible tornado right in through here, moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. By the way, same thing at Perdido. You've got the community of Dias, which is right here on US Highway 31. Those communities are not involved. In Escambia County, Alabama, there really is not a major population center involved in this active tornado warning other than Boonville. No doubt about it. If you're in Boonville, you need to be taking those tornado warning precautions right now, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Again, Boonville is right here. McCullough is here, technically out of the polygon. This also, this warning, I should say, does include Mineola, which is here in southern Monroe County. So if you're in southern Monroe County near Mineola, we need you to be in a tornado safe place. However, the warning does not include Uri. So if you're at Uri, this warning does not include you, but I will say if this holds its strength, the Weather Service may have to consider extending that warning into areas near Uri. They're in southern Monroe County. They would be next in line to see that potential tornado. And I tell you what, this thing on velocity has really ramped up. Let's go over to the iPad. And just to get your bearings straight, this blue line right here, that's Interstate 65. And this is the possible tornado right there. Again, this is in a very rural part of northern Baldwin County, north of Bay Minette. By chance, if you're waking up as of 2:41 a.m., if you're in Bay Minette or points south in Baldwin County, you are okay. This is strictly an issue north of the interstate in Baldwin County. Possible tornado is right in through here. And let's actually see on our maps if we can give you some of the road names in through here, just because, like I said, this is in a very rural area. Only place on the map that really is a population center would be Boonville. They're in Escambia County, Alabama. Again, just checking our other sources here from the Weather Service, getting a message from them. Again, if you're near Lottie Road, also at Jack Springs Road, and also areas near Redtown Road, right in through here, near Redtown, near Boonville, near Mineola. This is Alabama Highway 59 right here in northern Baldwin County, north of the interstate. Possible tornado is right here, and it's moving to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this thing will be out of northern Baldwin County in about 5 to 10 minutes or so, moving into Monroe County, but it may clip the far northwestern corner of Escambia County in Alabama. Again, this is not going to be an issue for Atmore or areas here near the Wind Creek Casino or Nokomis or even Canoe, even Wallace and Barnett's Crossroads, too far to the east. But for communities out here near Boonville, you are under the gun. And I will say, we got folks watching in Huxford, I know. This tornado warning polygon kind of goes very near Huxford, but it looks like the risk is going to be just a bit to the west of there. So again, watching this signature, this is a bit farther inland than some of the earlier circulation centers that we've been monitoring out over the Gulf of Mexico that have been pretty weak, and this one really ramped up quickly. This is the type of situation that we're really going to see over the next few hours, most likely. We'll take you back to the traditional radar, which is base reflectivity here. And let's show you the full wide view across the region, because again, this is the first tornado warning that we've had on this Christmas Eve morning. Main line of storms moving in from Mississippi. And I'll be honest with you, the rain out ahead of this main line of storms has really consolidated into this mass of rain here that's pretty continuous. In other words, you don't really see these individual cells by themselves. They're sort of connected by rain, and that may potentially stabilize the atmosphere somewhat, but even so, even if it does, the Weather Service in their assessment and the Storm Prediction Center has posted this tornado watch valid until 11 a.m. Not only due to the potential for tornadoes in these cells that briefly ramp up out ahead of the main line, but also you got to deal with the main line itself moving across our region. So in addition to tornadoes, you're also going to have a risk of damaging straight line winds associated with this main line of thunderstorms as it pushes off to the east, just like that. Just scanning our other social media sites here to see if we have anything in the way of confirmations. I'm not seeing anything, that would suggest a tornado being down or being sighted, I should say. But again, it's the middle of the night. It is now 2:45 a.m. And, the best possible thing, the best possible tool we have to track this potential tornado is radar. There's hardly anyone awake at this hour, but for those that are awake, if you're near Boonville or you know someone at Boonville, Alabama, in the far western part of Escambia County, Alabama, you need to call them, wake them up, let them know that there could be a tornado very near there in a matter of moments. Again, this is an active tornado warning. We do have the tornado watch for the entire region, but we also have this tornado warning polygon that continues for areas near Boonville. You've also got, again, a part of Redtown Road and Jack Springs Road right in through here. This is northern Baldwin County. This is the I'm talking extreme northwestern corner of Escambia County, Alabama, and also far southern Monroe County involved in this active tornado warning, valid until this warning is in effect until 3:15 local time. And again, this is the only tornado warning that we have as of 2:46 a.m. And keep in mind, I know that we have folks watching around the region. These are 3 large counties, but again, this is for a small, I'm talking very small part of northern Baldwin County. The major population centers in Escambia County not included. Same thing in Monroe County. If you're watching in Monroeville right now, you are okay. There is no active tornado warning for Monroeville or areas near Excel or Frisco City. The warning in Monroe County is down here, down around Mineola, and this does include a part of Alabama Highway 59, which is right in through here. It's interesting because most people associate Alabama Highway 59 with the road that goes down to the beaches and ends there at Gulf Shores, but 59 actually does cross the interstate, and this is Alabama Highway 59 in northern Baldwin County that ultimately comes over here to Alabama Highway 21. And so what we would tell you, if by chance you know someone that would be driving early this morning on Alabama Highway 59 near Uri, near Mineola, you need to call them and let them know, again, that part of Alabama Highway 59 is involved in an active tornado warning, valid until 3:15 a.m. And so no driving on Highway 59, we'll say north of the interstate, all the way back up to Uri. And we encourage no driving at this point on Alabama Highway 21, from Uri back down through Little River State Forest, which is right here, State Park, I should say, down to Huxford and ultimately down to the Interstate 65. As again, this is a dangerous storm that could be producing a tornado on the back flank of it right here, moving just like that to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. I realize that it is super early in the morning, and it is inconvenient when we have these tornado warnings at this time of day, to say the absolute least. But I would encourage you, again, if you know someone in southern Monroe County near Mineola, call them, wake the kids up, get to that tornado safe place. In fact, we haven't done this in this particular round of severe weather coverage. If you're in Boonville or Mineola, this is what we need you to do right now. Get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure. In other words, you want to be in the middle part of your house, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Grab something to protect your head. A helmet is the best possible thing on this list that you can do. Put on your head. If you are at Mineola or areas near Boonville in western Escambia County, in Alabama. So again, that's our active tornado warning that continues until 3:15 in the morning. There it is on Velocity, and let's put this in motion. Velocity is a tool, a radar tool that shows us exactly which way these particles are moving in the atmosphere. And the particles in this case, of course, are raindrops. And so what this indication is right in through here. It's a possible tornado, and this is moving just like that. And I tell you, the signature is certainly there could be a tornado there with this particular signature. You've got a counterclockwise circulation doing this number like that. And again, that could be an active tornado moving very near Mineola in southern Monroe County in the next few minutes. Very near Boonville right now. Boonville is right here. You've got Jack Springs Road right in through there. This is Baldwin County. This is Escambia County, Alabama. And this is southern Monroe County. This is going to be very near Little River State Park in a matter of moments. And so if you live near that state park there, in southern Monroe County, we would encourage you to be be in your tornado safe place right now. Again, don't wait, get to that tornado safe place right now. We'll go to the wide view across the region, and let's also check our main line of storms just to see exactly where we are in the process. This is going to be a pretty long morning, I have a sneaking suspicion, with this whole line of storms likely to take a good 6 hours at least to cross our region. So what does that mean? It means that we could have more in the way of tornado warnings over the next few hours. In other words, this is the active one that continues over the next, 25 minutes until 3:15 a.m. But again, main line of storms back in through here is just now getting into West Alabama. And note that it's not a north to south line. In other words, it's stretched from northeast back to the southwest. And after this main line of storms clears through your location, we'll be able to give you a severe weather all clear. The cold front will have moved through your location, and much colder air is going to come in later today on this Christmas Eve. We could have temperatures this afternoon in the 40s, and so quite chilly temperatures are coming in behind this cold front. Let's go back over to the velocity view. This is actually on the iPad here. This polygon right there is your tornado warning polygon. And so again, for folks that would be involved in that, Mineola and areas near Boonville are the two communities involved. We need you to be in that tornado safe place right now. You should have been in the tornado safe place 15 minutes ago when the warning was issued. But if you're just now waking up and tuning into this coverage, please get sheltered. If you are at Mineola, Alabama or Boonville, Alabama, these are two small communities. But even if you live in a rural community, you matter just as much as folks in the urban areas matter. And so, again, Boonville and Mineola, let's make it happen this morning as we have a possible tornado basically right in through there. And this thing is moving like that. And so in a matter of, say, 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to know what the Weather Service is going to do in terms of extending that warning or not. Again, you're looking at the level 2 NEXRAD data coming from the Mobile Regional Airport. The radar actually sits right there on the western side of Mobile. And again, looking at a situation where we have the main line of thunderstorms coming in, but this is the only warning that we have on the board as of 2:53 a.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. You're watching live streaming severe weather coverage as we have an active tornado warning. Tiny part of northern Baldwin County, also a tiny part of Escambia County, Alabama on the far western side of the county. This is going to be Little River State Park right in through here. This is Alabama Highway 59. That's Alabama Highway 21. And so what we're telling you, if you are in Boonville or Mineola, please get to a tornado safe place right now as we have a possible tornado. Let's look at it on the storm relative velocity, or let's actually go back over to the traditional velocity, I should say. And the Weather Service just sending a message. They are continuing the tornado warning as of 2:53 a.m., which is right now. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 7 miles southwest of Uri. And so Uri, you can see that on the map. It's right there. Possible tornado is right in through here. And so interestingly enough, this is very near the apex of the 3 counties. What do I mean by that? You've got a point where Baldwin County, Escambia County, Alabama, and Monroe County come together. That point is going to be right in through there. And what's happened here, the Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for Baldwin and Escambia. And so Baldwin and Escambia now without the tornado warning, but southern Monroe County still involved. And again, this is a very, very tiny part of Monroe County. If you look at the map, this is Monroe County. That outline, Monroeville is here. You've got Purdue Hill right here. Excel and Frisco City right in through here. Alabama Highway 21 runs right there, basically down to Uri. And that box, that is the only part of the tornado warning that we have left as of 2:55 a.m. And so, again, no issues right now in Monroeville. Nothing to worry about in Tunnel Springs or Beatrice. Yes, you've got some rain nearby, but this is the only part of the county involved in the active tornado warning as of 2:55 a.m. Just looking at our other sources here. Again, this is very near Little River State Forest and also near that state park. Also very near South Palmer's Road, which is going to be Monroe County Road 11 there, which is going to be, again, this road right in through here. Possible tornado is this thing right there. You see that blue butting up to that red right in through there. That is a couplet, and this is moving just like that. And so we will see in a matter of moments if the Weather Service is going to continue this tornado warning. Again, I realize that it is very, very early in the morning, and for folks that may be just waking up, let's say you're in Mineola. If you're in Mineola and for some reason you happened upon our feed this morning, maybe someone shared it to your Facebook feed, we would encourage you to get to your tornado safe place if you're at Mineola. Again, we're going to know in the next 5 minutes or so if the Weather Service is going to extend this warning into areas near Uri. Again, just getting a confirmation message there in our NWS chat feed. Someone asking if the Weather Service is indeed going to extend that warning. And I'll be honest with you, usually the Weather Service does not answer those questions in the chat. And so we will see in the next little bit if the Weather Service indeed decides to extend the warning. So while we wait on that, again, the call to action is for areas near Mineola in southern Monroe County involved in an active tornado warning. However, we've got other weather going on around the region in terms of very heavy rain happening right now near the Tombigbee River, near communities like Woods Bluff, down to Coffeyville, right in through here near the Lock and Dam. This is actually the main line of storms. This is the main event early this morning. And once this line of storms clears through your location, you'll get a severe weather all clear. But no communities locally get an all clear just yet because we are all out ahead of this line of storms. Again, tracking several heavier areas of rain out ahead of the main line. In fact, I'm hearing some thunder at our studio location right now in the northern part of Brewton, Alabama, associated with these storms. But all this mess is below severe limits. And so not seeing anything there that would suggest an imminent tornado or anything like that. Again, the only warning that we have is for southern Monroe County. Let's actually go back over to the velocity source here, and that kind of tells the tale a little bit better of what's going on. Again, there's your tornado warning right there, and it's due to this. This is a couplet right in through there. Let's actually loop this and kind of see how this thing has evolved. And I'll be honest with you, it certainly has broadened out over the last few frames. There's no doubt about it. We'll back this up, and you can see right about there, this was kind of when this thing was at its peak. Here in northern Baldwin County, again, that's Interstate 65. This is Alabama Highway 59. And what's happened, this has moved up just like that. Let's watch it together. And as I advance that forward, that was a pretty strong indication of a couplet there on the velocity view. But you can see since it has moved into southern Monroe County, that signature has now broadened out somewhat. And again, as a course of least regret, I would say in Mineola, hang out in that tornado safe place, probably for about 5 more minutes, and then most likely we'll be able to give you a tornado all clear. But again, the call to action at this point includes basically one area, and that's in southern Monroe County here near Mineola and Alabama Highway 59 coming out of Uri out to the west. You got a lot of fields out in this area, agricultural fields, and I don't want anyone to fall into the temptation of trying to get a picture of this thing. There is no way that you're going to be able to see this tornado coming. There's absolutely no way. Why? Number one, it's obviously in the middle of the night, so you've got darkness to contend with, but number two, heavy rain. Most tornadoes in Alabama are rain-wrapped, and so that certainly would be the case here. This is a high precipitation, in other words, lots of rain associated with this storm as it continues to move to the northeast. And at this time, the Weather Service is not going to extend the tornado warning. In fact, you know what? They have just canceled it. And so this tornado warning is now off of the board. It is now 4 o'clock in the Eastern time zone. It is 1 a.m. out west, and it is 3 in the morning here in South Alabama and Northwest Florida, where we have just concluded our first tornado warning on this Christmas Eve. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, and we've got a long way to go. I realize that, again, that was a heated moment, you could say, in northern Baldwin County. Part of that tornado warning did include northwestern Escambia and the far southern part of Monroe counties. But now that warning is gone. It has been canceled by the National Weather Service, and what's left is a lot of rain across our region. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. What I want to do before we get out of your hair is we're going to put this radar in motion and kind of do a tour around the region just to make sure we don't get any more warnings. And then we'll say goodbye. We will continue to come on when we have warnings, and we'll have more updates in the Red Zone Weather app. But what you can expect over the next few hours: rain, lots of rain, increasing winds. Behind this line of storms, you're going to have pressure gradient winds up around 20 to 30 miles per hour. So unlike most severe weather situations, this one is going to be a bit different, because most times what happens is you have all of these winds out ahead of the main line of storms. It's a little different this time, because what's happening, you've got a big weather system that extends all the way up to the Great Lakes in Canada, associated with the cold front. And again, back behind this line of storms, these winds are howling in from the northwest, ushering in very cold air. Now, unfortunately for our snow lovers out there, it's not going to be cold enough to get any ice or snow, any mixed precipitation, anything like that this go around. But it certainly is going to be cold enough to have very cold temperatures in here on Christmas Day, with highs only expected to be in the 40s. So again, let's look around the region as to what is happening right now. First, we'll zoom into Washington and Clark counties, because this actually is the main line of storms that extends from Morven and Campbell back down here to Coffeyville, which is right here. This is Coffeyville. This is US Highway 84. This is Choctaw County. Washington County is here. Alabama Highway 17 runs from Silas down to Chatham. That's where your main line of storms is right now. Very heavy rain in through here from Milry back down to State Line, Mississippi along Alabama Highway 17. You've also got Yarbo and the community of Loper right there on 17 as well. But again, this is very heavy rainfall associated with that main line of storms. We'll zoom into southern Monroe County, because I realize we've got some very heavy rain falling near Uri associated with this formerly tornado-warned storm in through here. Let's actually check out the velocity one more time before we get out of your hair, because that circulation center that was formerly pretty strong down here in Baldwin County certainly is now much weaker than it once was. That's what's left of it, and it's very near Uri right now. And so if you're near Uri in southern Monroe County, you may have gusty winds up around 20 to 25 miles per hour over the next few minutes as that band of heavy rain continues shifting off to the northeast. We'll look elsewhere across the region. Some heavier rain also falling near Fulmerton, Century, back up to areas like Bruton, East Bruton, Appleton, also out here near Castleberry. These showers lifting off to the northeast, those are below severe limits. You've also got this heavier band of rain extending down to the Mobile Metro. Very heavy rain along the causeway right now, and the Bayway from Mobile back over to areas near Spanish Fort there on I-10. Certainly would not want to be driving in that very heavy burst of rain happening near the causeway right now. So again, over the next few hours, what you can expect, this main line of storms is going to continue to work its way to the east. As it does so, we may have more in the way of tornado warnings, not only in the main line of storms, but also in some of these storms out ahead of the actual main line itself. Have a way to get those warnings over the next several hours. Again, a tornado watch does continue for all local counties, valid until 11 a.m. local time. If we have more warnings, we will come straight back on Facebook Live to bring you the latest. On behalf of all of us here at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson saying goodbye for now. We will see you soon.